Fusion Health is the largest developer of electronic health solutions in the Department of Corrections in the United States. So when you look at statistics, our software touches roughly 350,000 inmates every single day. We are the biggest player at this point. Our team is roughly over 100. We actually welcomed 30 new Fusionites, we call it, into our organization last year when we acquired the largest pharmacy management system in the country, which was Kalos in Topeka, Kansas. I noticed that a lot of the big players were invested in a small way in correctional facilities. They were pretty much jamming down these electronic health records into these correctional facilities, but they just did not actually work for the correctional facility. So I saw a huge opportunity there where, these systems existed, but they weren't catered to actually handle the workflow and the medical care delivery model that exists in correctional facilities. So that's where we started building a supporting software around that core product to actually, get into correctional facilities and ultimately take out some of the biggest players in the game. Correctional facilities are really high output. It's a blend between an inpatient model like your hospitals and your outpatient model like your doctors that you go see, for your annual physical checkups. So none of the systems were able to actually handle both types of care models, and that's where I really saw the opportunity to deliver high efficiency, high output software that actually really took care of the inmates, managed their health, because a lot of inmates are among the sickest population in the country. So, a lot of the software did not have the ability to actually manage that care. It was very much a one-way street, whereas our software is able to analyze the records, figure out who needs to be seen, use some forms of AI in a sense to actually make sure that those patients are managed throughout the duration of their incarceration. When we entered the EHR market, we were a team of two, myself and my brother heading up our business development team. And what we were doing was delivering high impact software that actually was far more advanced than these large EHR systems that were, really multi-billion-dollar publicly traded companies. So we were able to be competitive, drive down the price, enter the market, and get those initial clients that really we've held on to even this day. And through customer service and our ability to scale as a company, we've lost no clients in the end and have actually taken out these multi-billion-dollar companies straight out of existence in this industry. So I think that quality team, good customer service, desire, commitment to our clients has really allowed us to become number one. I think one of the biggest challenges I'm facing personally as a leader within the organization is growing from a company of, 1, 2, 15, 20, 100, 150 and beyond. And one of the hardest things I've had to do as a leader and the biggest challenge I face is to be able to scale. What it took to do something when we were a team of 10 was much easier than to do something when you're a team of 100. Communication's key. I poll all of our employees on a quarterly basis and actually solicit their feedback about what are the things that I need to do as a leader to make Fusion better. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do is make things better. Don't just be complacent that, hey, it's working today. Is it going to work in the future? Because I think that is one of the challenges in growing and scaling a company that myself as a leader need to face and deal with. I always seen that culture and the environment you work in is one of the most important factors to retaining employees. When you think about it, you spend more time at work during a day and the people around there than you do with your own family at home in most scenarios. So, I want to make Fusion a place that people want to come and work because they have the choice of where they want to work. I want to make Fusion a place where they feel inspired because, again, we're a software company and you need to be creative. What I love the most about Seton Hall is that they are actually hands-on and the faculty care about the students. They are actually working with you to understand what the concepts that they're trying to teach. And I'm actually shocked how many of those concepts I was able to actually take from Seton Hall and use in the real world. One of my best memories is still Professor Forbes. I remember for our final exam, he put us all in the room and it was the most impossible test in the world. And he literally got up in the middle of the exam and walked out of the room. And everybody looks at each other throughout the room and we're literally like, what just happened? I can't believe he just walked out. And we all started actually assisting each other. He came in at the end and he said, I know what you guys did. And it wasn't about passing this exam. This exam was impossible to pass. It was about somebody leading a team, understanding the situation and coming to a solution. It was a great life lesson and something that it's just always stuck with me in the back of my head. I think one of the biggest things, if you want to become an entrepreneur, is that you need to be committed to becoming an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not a part-time gig. I think also as a student, now is the time to embrace the entrepreneurship lifestyle. You have very little overhead, you have very little commitment outside of school, and now is the time where you can actually really focus in and commit yourself wholly to becoming an entrepreneur and becoming successful in the long run. Success as an entrepreneur is really like a cocktail of characteristics. I don't think I could have one single characteristic that makes me successful, or any entrepreneur successful for that matter. I really look at my parents and my family. I think they actually helped mold me and mold that cocktail that's made me successful in the long run. So not one thing that I could single out, but I think it's a lot of things that has helped me. Being perseverant, committed, loyal, thoughtful, driven, those are the things I think make up that cocktail. Growing up, my parents were my inspiration. They were immigrants from former Yugoslavia, Croatia, and they came here with nothing and built themselves up. My mom went into the workforce in the newspapers, and my dad built a business from nothing. So, my father, specifically looking at him building a business, being his own boss was something that was always inspirational to me. And then, as I've matured, my family today, my wife and 2 kids are inspiration to me because I don't want to fail them. I want them to have the best life possible. I want them to then have a better life than even we have today. So that's the inspiration as a whole, is family. I want to help. I think that's kind of where my giving back comes from. I just want people to have the opportunity to advance themselves and make themselves better. That's why we started the fund. I don't really think of it as giving back. I just think of it as something that's right.